Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, folks. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good, buddy. Doing well.
Good, good. Looks like we got the team here. We got myself, Todd, and Jeff. We're going to be the ones kind of going through today's captain's meeting for the South County Challenge, the final event for the Florida Kayak Bass Trail for the 25-26 season. So super excited about that. And gonna really kind of keep it short and sweet and simple. We've been doing these all year, so you guys kind of have a gist of what it's supposed to look like. So please, if you plan on fishing and this is the captain's meeting, making sure you drop your name there in the comment section below, just so that you guys can receive credit for that. And yeah, if you have any questions, again, please drop them in the comment throughout the live, and we'll be sure to answer them before we get off here. So again, our goal is to keep it short and sweet. So make sure to drop your questions in there promptly. If you're watching this after this captain's meeting is concluded, you can reach out to myself, Todd, Sean, Jeff, whoever, Dave, and we'll make sure to get you squared away for this event. So as of right now, I thought last time I checked, we're sitting at like 10 anglers. So hopefully we get some more folks there to get signed up. I'm going to go through, again, kind of a sequence of events. I'm going to go through all the tournament details. There's some minor changes there that we want to highlight to make sure that everyone's tracking. Todd's going to go over the safety, and then Jeff's going to highlight some of the lakes, the eligible bodies of water, boat ramps, answer any questions in that regards, tell you guys where the award ceremony is going to be, and then we'll open it up for questions. So, and then I'm also going to go over and highlight anglers that are sitting at two events that need to fish this event in order to hit their three tournament minimum to qualify for the championship, and kind of explain that whole championship qualification process out, just so folks understand, or maybe might have misunderstood how the rule was written or how the qualification standard is written. I'll clarify that just so folks can be educated on that and know if they need to sign up and fish this event or not. So again, no major changes. I posted it on Facebook, and I sent out a message through Tourney X identifying the change in lines in and lines out for this event. And kind of what we're going to be doing moving forward into future seasons. So due to daylight savings time and things of that nature, and the sun coming up earlier, we are going to adjust the lines in time. So for this event, you're able to launch at 6 a.m. Lines in is at 6:30. Lines out is at 2:30. So that means that your photo submission deadline is 3 p.m. Pre-fishing still will end the Friday prior at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anglers must check off the water by 3 p.m. That's giving you guys 30 minutes from after lines out to get back to the boat ramp and check back in through the Tourney X app. And you guys should be good to go there. If you guys are launching from a boat ramp to where, they might be having a small boat tournament or whatever going out of it, you guys you can launch your kayak or you can prep and launch your kayak before 6 o'clock. You just need to stay in the vicinity, 100-yard buffer, 50-yard buffer of that boat ramp to kind of get away from the ramps for safety reasons, so boats aren't backing into you if they can't see you and whatnot. So just as you launch, kind of, clear the ramp and clear that area 50 to 100 yards, just so that you guys can stay safe in those areas. Okay. Any questions on that? I don't see any. Okay. One thing that I do want to say about the championship qualification standards before I toss it over to Todd is we have 70 members in our club. So what that means is the top, based off of what it states in our rules, is the top 50% of our AOI standing. So we have 70 members, 35 anglers will qualify for the championship. The top 35 in AOI will qualify. There will be roll downs. If you won a single event and you meet the qualification standards, so I'm not sure how many those are. It might be 5. It could be 8. Those don't count towards the 35 spots that are open. Anglers who won an event and fished the 3 events, they auto qualify, so it could be a potentially 40 to 42 anglers on that AOI list that will be competing in the championship, seeing as if all 42 anglers decide to sign up and fish the championship for the club. I don't think we've had that, in previous years. That's why we spaced it from May to September to give folks a little bit of time off the water, a break in between, going eight events in a row and then right back into a championship, summer and all that. So we put it in September to give anglers some time to kind of recoup and, get back into the swing of things, but also gives them more time to pre-fish where that championship's going to be at. So you're a little bit more prepared in that sense. So hopefully we get more participation and we get all anglers that qualify signed up to participate. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that's kind of, if you have any questions in regards to where you stand with qualification standards for the championship, just let me know and I'll be sure to kind of clarify those things for you. But yeah, if you have any questions for tournament details, let me know. Drop them in the comments section, and I'll monitor them as Todd and Jeff kind of go through their spills here. So Todd, I'll turn it over to you.
All righty. Well, this is going to be pretty quick and easy because it's the same safety features that we, do every month. So number one on the safety list is wear your PFD, wear your life jacket at all times. Let's just say that it pops up raining out there. You need to stop fishing, bring your line in, and take off. Put on your, take off your life jacket, put on your raincoat if you're putting it on, and put your life jacket on over it. So whatever part of clothing that you have, your life jacket needs to be over the outside of it. If you need to, the opposite, if you need to take a jacket off, stop fishing, reel in your line, take it off and put it right back on, because that's number one safety out of everything. And, a lot of lakes that we fish are pretty shallow. A lot of these are pretty deep that we're going to be fishing on this one. So definitely, make sure that you're wearing your PFD. Number two, check in and out the water. So whenever you launch, be sure to check in. And then whenever you get off the water, check off the water. This way we know that we've got everybody off the water and it's all good. Let's just say if it's going to be very hot this weekend, so make sure you have plenty of fluids, stay hydrated. Go ahead and start drinking heavily right now on your hydration, getting hydrated. So that, if you wait till Saturday morning, it's too late. So go ahead and start right now. Bring plenty of liquids with you. If you're running a boat, a motor on your boat, you got to have navigation lights up front, your red, green. All kayaks must be running a 360 light and a flag that's on the back before daylight or, in low light conditions. You want to be seen, like I said, don't know if there's going to be any small tournaments or whatever out there, boaters. So we've got to make sure that we're seen. Make sure your flag is flying above your head when you're seated. The higher the flag, the more likely it is to be seen. I know that ain't much. The little flags are not a lot, but if it's whipping around in the wind or whatever, it might catch somebody's eye. We will just want to make sure that, we're seen as much as possible. Make sure you have a whistle, an audible device. On the flip side of things, make sure your catch board is clean so that the judges can, tell the lines and where they're at. Make sure you take good pictures. If they're blurry, we can't read. If it don't have the whole fish in there, if it don't have the ID in there, if it doesn't have the bump board in there, if it doesn't have a sticker on the bump board or engraving or a contrasting mark, your fish could get DQ'd, right?
Yeah, Todd, can I hop on there for a second? So
absolutely.
Just from going back and looking at photos from submissions, you guys have been doing a fantastic job this year. Keep that up. There have been a few instances with water on the lens that's making it blurry with how hot it is in the sun. Please be mindful of the glare on those on the orange Yak Attack leaderboards, it's getting tough out there, especially if there's water on it and the glare's hitting it. It makes it really, really hard to see. And also to hand placement on the tail. Make sure that you guys are not exceeding what that looks like when it comes. It's in our rules, right? It says very specifically where and how your hands should be placed when it comes to the fish and hand placement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post that again on our club on the Facebook page, so you guys can go in and take a look. If you guys are right on or over that, we're going to deny that submission and ask that you resubmit another one. Also, too, making sure that the tail is laying completely on the board. We had to DQ a fish during the last tournament because a portion of the tail was on the board, but the other portion of it was raised, creating a shadow, right? So that fish was denied. So make sure, one, you're taking multiple photos, but take a really good look at those and make sure that the mouth is fully seated against the bump, it's closed, the tail is laying flat, and that your hand's not impeding in any of those no touch areas, right? Just so that your fish can be approved and the identifier is legible and in the photo. Okay. Just we're getting towards the end of the season. I'd hate for something like that to cause you a win or catching a limit, or even more, getting your fish disqualified. So that's all I have to say there, Todd.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I have on the safety part anyway. So cool. It's all good.
Yep. One thing I will say, though, too, as well, for safety, is it's hot out there, too. We have never fished these lakes before, right? Wind. If the wind picks up out there, it can get dangerous, right? With some of those bigger bodies of water that are just open with not a lot of trees, right? So keep your eye on what the wind looks like and try to stay if it gets pretty high, above 15 miles an hour, you want to be fishing on those protected sides of the lakes, just to be safe. So if you're out there, fishing in the open, be mindful of those boats. They're not going to see you as they're wakeboarding or jet skiing or what have you. I can only imagine, with the way that the weather's looking and the trending in this weekend, that there's going to be a lot of boaters potentially out on these lakes. So just be mindful, keep your head on the swivel out there, and keep your eyes on the weather as well.
Yep.
But yep. Thanks, Todd, for that. We'll turn it over to Jeff to kind of discuss the lakes and kind of what that looks like for this event as well. Have any questions, let us know. Jeff, you're muted. You're muted. He's still muted.
No, I'm trying to share, and it's...
I got you. I can share it.
So yeah, I've got it in the, it's in the, there you go. Perfect. Yep. So real quick, let's jump to the next slide. Are you able to change?
No, I can't go to the next slide. You'll have to do it. Yep, there you go. It's there.
Okay. So these are the lakes that are in play, with the exception of, Josephine is connected to some other bodies of water. So as long as you're not portaging or anything like that, you launch at the ramps and you can access any body of water that's connected.
Yep.
So we got Persimmon, Lake Carey, Francis, Apthorpe, Lake June and Winter, Lake Clay, Lake Huntley, and Lake Placid. So they're all listed right here. We're going to do the awards at the Lake June boat ramp, the public boat ramp that's at Lake June. So from there, these are the ramps that are in play. We think we have them all listed, but we did want to kind of say that if we missed a boat ramp and it's public, you can launch at any of the public boat ramps. I will caveat it with, for instance, Lake Placid's second ramp is on Harris Drive. There's not a parking lot. So if you guys remember when we did the first event on Lake Agnes, it's very similar to that. It's a road that basically just dead ends into the water with a boat ramp, and you park on the side of it. It is patrolled not only by Highlands County Sheriff's Office. It's also patrolled by, I think, Sebring. I think it's in the Sebring municipality. So Sebring Police Department patrols it. They will ticket you if you are blocking a driveway, and they will tow you. So just make real sure that when you guys if you launch from there, make sure you're legally parked, because you're going to be responsible for anything that happens with your vehicle. So that's the one caveat on the boat ramps. Again, we're going to do the awards at that Lake June Park public boat ramp. It's a central location, so that should be pretty easy for everybody.
Yeah, that'll start at 4:30. And Jeff, I put the address, the physical address. It's 501 Jackson Road, Lake Placid, Florida. I put that in the Tourney X description. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a link that you can click, and it'll pull up in your Google or Apple Maps and take you right there.
The one thing I will say is I did talk to Highlands County Police Department. I also talked to Sebring Police Department. I also talked to Highlands County Police Department just about camping at some of the ramps, because there are no signs that say no overnight parking that I could find. But there is a city ordinance in Sebring, and it's actually a county ordinance. The only lake that has an exception to it is Istapaga, which ought to play, but it's because there's an actual physical campground there. So what they told me is, if you're one of the guys that gets there, at midnight or 1 o'clock and sleeps in your car, they don't typically enforce that, especially if you're minding your own business. But if a homeowner calls the police, they have to enforce that ordinance. So just know that if you're at the ramp early and it looks like you're sleeping in your car, you could be asked to leave. So I do want to kind of throw that out there. But if you get there, at 2 and you're getting ready to launch, I think you would be fine. So yeah, that's the only caveat to kind of put out there. That's a county ordinance, so that's why there's no signage or anything, but it is a Highlands County. All public boat ramps do close at midnight, and they typically don't open again until they basically didn't say a time. They kind of said, morning launch. So whatever you think that means, but just be aware of it. Be careful.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's the final event. If anybody has any questions in the comments, we'll answer them. But
everything seems to be good.
I think the fishing is good down there from what I'm hearing, and I only got out one time to pre-fish, but I did pretty good. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it should be a solid event. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, I mean, again, this is our final event of the year, leading into, what the championship's going to look like in September. So we're super excited. I'll go ahead and remove this from the stage there, Jeff. So it's back up to us. So we're excited about it. I've seen, full transparency, I'm a huge numbers guy, looking at, kind of how the season's transpired. It's been a good learning experience for us as tournament directors, and how this club's going to be running, right, when it comes to calculating AOY points, championship qualification standards, what have you. We try to do things a little different than your normal average trail, just because we're able to and have fun with it, kind of shape the game, or try different things, right? So next year we're hopefully in an attempt to kind of help boost participation kind of long-term across the entire season, to where folks aren't falling off, if their goal was AOI or what have you. And with us counting every event towards AOI, there's some changes that we're making coming into next year. So hopefully that's going to be that'll drive, higher participation numbers throughout the entirety of the season next year. At the end of the day, we're doing this for you guys. So, with 10 people for this event, it's probably going to be one of our lowest attendances that we've ever had in the history. We are going to do for payout structure for that event. If we stay under, we're doing top 10%, right? If we hit 20 people, we're going to pay out first and second, and big bass, and obviously lunker money will go into the lunker pot for that event. So just giving you guys a heads up there. Third place, you'll walk away with a reel from Lose. So we'll pay out first and second if we're 20, or if we're under 25. If we're 26, or once we get to 30, we'll pay out the top 3. So just giving you guys a heads up there. So get signed up for this event. One thing I do want to state is I was going to put out some names. I went through and I looked at the people who fished the events and who's met the qualification standards and who for the championship, and who's right at 2 and needs one more. So if I call your name, I know Chris Eastman, he's signed up for this event. This will be his third, so fishing this event, that'll get you to meet that standard. Timothy Campbell, Chris Parker, Jay Serrano, Rael Rodriguez, Jonathan Ellman, and Todd Zekiel. If I called your name, you guys are sitting at 2 events. You need to fish this event in order to put yourself in in contention to fish the championship. And then there was a bunch of anglers that had fished 1 or none that signed up as members. Obviously, if you fished less than 2, there's no possible way for you to be able to qualify for the championship this year. So you'll have next year to be able to contend for that. July, something I do want to bring up is in July, we will be hosting our month-long team tournament. We're a 2-man team tournament, which is going to be a fun tournament to put on that helps us kind of raise some money for the championship, but also too, it earns, anglers who are outside that top 35 that met the qualification standard, a back way into getting into the championship. So the number 1 spot, the 2-man team, if they win, they'll get a chance, or they'll be qualified for the championship. Regardless, regardless, it's a fun tournament. So if you've already qualified and you guys want to get signed up and fish, it's a cool, fun, easy summer event that we've done each year. That's been a lot of fun. So I'll be building that on Tourney X and posting it this weekend for those of you that want to get signed up. It's going to be $100 a team, so $50 an angler is what it's going to cost for you to compete in that event. And then it's going to be a 50 of it. First place team is going to get paid out, right? And then so 50% of the proceeds are going to go to the payouts. Last year, I think first place, each team member got $300, so it was $600 for first place. And then $600 went towards the championship to help boost payouts and prizes and whatnot there. So we're going to do the same thing this year, but it's just a fun tournament. And then we're also going to do some other things throughout the summer to increase like some boat ramp beatdowns. They call it Summer Smash. So Jeff and us we're going to put something together for that. So stay tuned if you guys want to get out on the water and go have some fun over the summer. But yeah, that's what's coming down for the Florida Kayak Bass Trail. Stay tuned. We're working on a schedule, working on a list of lakes. More to come on that. A lot of cool things moving forward. Yes, Evan, it's going to be a random team draw. You put your name in it. We're going to put your name on a spinning wheel, and that's how it's going to get drawn. And cool thing is it's going to be open. It's not just in the state of Florida. It's any public body of water, just like our Top 26 challenge. If you're traveling or whatever for that month, it'll work. Largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, it'll all count. So, but yeah, we're excited about it. Super excited about next season and what that's going to look like. We'll be making some posts on Facebook following the final event, in between the final event and the championship. You guys are going to see a lot of stuff coming down on what next year's going to look like for the club when it comes to entry fees, AOI format, qualification standards for the championship, schedule, all that fun stuff. So stay tuned, and looking forward to seeing you guys out there this weekend. I'm going to go through the comments and make sure there's no other outlying questions, and then we'll end this bad boy.
I didn't see any.
Nope. Don't see any. So if you're watching this after the fact, please reach out if you have any questions to myself, Todd, or Jeff, Sean, whoever, and we'll make sure to get you squared away. But please be safe. Drop your name in the comment section below, and we will see you guys on Saturday. Later.
Good luck. See you Saturday.